Who wants to remind the people at home what happened last time?
I can do it.
Go for it.
Why not? Okay, so I know we were in the center by the magma stuffs, and we decided that it was best to not be there because we'd be seen and try and find our way towards either the diamond area or tracking the drow that we missed. And we leaned more towards finding the diamonds because the drow is really quick and we probably would not catch up with them. So, along going to the diamond area, we ran across some more drow. Syra tried to use her drowness to be a, drow. And it worked for a little bit, trying to make the rest of us look like a bad guy, except for Ren because invisible. Um, and we worked on stabbing a drow in the back, and then invisible Duragar kind of messed up our night, and two of them escaped, and that was no fun. So now we have a drow and two Duragar that know that we're there and have escaped our grasp.
I can't hear
You,
you.
you know, all of that in addition to the frost spiders you just fought, the walrus you all obliterated, two of you almost dying, well, basically dying, getting stabbed by the one drow warrior, meeting a half goat person, still not quite 100% about them, but apparently, whenever they go into a rage, fucked up shit happens around them. They've shot weird laser beams out of their chest. They've made pixies explode. I mean, I'm not quite 100% sure about this half goat person, but that's all. That's all. You're all the players. Good luck with that. Finally finding the diamond section, having this huge fight. Thynar basically going, I'm fucking tapped. Like, this is it. When we first got here, I said, hey, let's be careful. Let's, take this slow. And basically, Syra just not listening to him and causing ruckus everywhere they go, as per usual in their new form. I think they were a little bit more cautious in their previous one, but this new one, they're just like drilling into it. It'll be fine. But we ended where Kappa heard at least two sets of footsteps running past him at short intervals between the two, headed back down this bottom canyon section, or this bottom passageway. Um, there was some minor healing that had happened as that since that drow mage cast that huge bolt of lightning, taking some people out. Naval had to do some healing. Thynar's used his last bits, and then Syra was able to see where there was a empty bottle right next to where the drow mage originally was, seeming to be very similar to a bottle that usually holds healing potion liquid. Um, Kind of giving maybe a hint as to how this fucker stood back up. But that's where we start off with maybe about, I would say, probably 5 or 10 minutes after the fight itself has ended. Um, there are some sounds currently on Foundry if you're interested in those. If you go underneath the music section, it is underneath ambient music, and you can adjust your own volume from there if you would like it to be something different. But Frosted Friends, as you're still unofficially being called, what would you like to do?
So we want to barricade the entrance and take a take a rest. What do you guys think?
Yes, that is what we were going to suggest. We're kind of closed off. It's a good spot to do that.
Oh, I mean, we can barricade it, but who's to say they don't have funny stuff they can do to just get slip past it? Are you sure this is a good place to do that kind of thing?
Barricade it with what?
Yeah, that too. That too.
I got this tent.
Hmm.
It's kind of big. You might be able to just, put it in the way. That's all I've got.
I was
I
gonna say
mean,
if
we could put the tent there. I also have, it's not much, but I have some tripwires I can set up and some ball bearings to give us some heads up if someone's coming. Just some basic stuff.
I know it's backtracking, but that one room over the lava was small enough with doors, I remember. Was that a possibility?
You guys found a room with doors. We should probably go to a room with doors.
Wasn't that room we found you in?
No, I was
Uh,
in the big room with the lava.
was a big
Kappa, are you talking about that giant forge thing in the middle of the pit of lava?
Well, did it not have walls?
No.
no.
Ah. Sorry, I was having an out of body experience that day.
Ugh.
Is it the
Yeah,
jerky?
we
Maybe it's
we
the
only
jerky.
found one room with doors, but it had two entrances, so not as safe.
Well, a room better than a big cavern with no doors.
But there's only one entrance to this
Well,
room.
Aye, and didn't,
yes, and we tripwire might be safe.
I like the tripwire idea. Do you have any more of those little marble things that you throw out sometimes? There's plenty of ore back here. We picked up a couple of mining picks, and we have those small things of dynamite. Maybe we can break some bigger rocks from behind. And I like the tent idea because they have to go through something, even if they're fucking invisible again, right? They have to disturb it somehow, which will give us
Mm-hmm.
another set. And if we have those of us who can see in the dark, kind of keep an eye out, and we just kind of hover. I mean, they know we're here, but
Oh,
at least we may be able to get some sort of rest. Or maybe we should move and not be here, because this is the last place they saw us.
I like that idea. Where's the
an
room with the
idea
doors?
for
How
a
far?
trap.
How far is the room with the doors?
Well,
Hmm.
that's a ways away. That's how we got in. It wasn't really
Quite
doors
ways
per se.
away.
Or in, what were you saying?
An idea for a trap. If we tripwire the area and put ball bearings on either side of the tripwire and try and almost like put the tent right up against the opening, invisible or not, they would have to drag the tent somehow, either away or going through it. Be enough if we take watch to cover ourselves.
Aye, but we're gonna want the tent like further down, right? So they're not like popping out right here, and we're like, oh, there's a dude or dudette. We want a little bit of a head of, at least I have 60 feet of dark vision. I know a couple of you got a little bit better than I do, but at least 60 feet we might be able to see if the
Are we
tent
meaning to
is moving.
sleep in the tent?
No, no.
Hmm.
I'm just saying further down the hall, drop the tent, right? So that we have at least 60 feet of, oh shit, get everybody ready, instead of right here, the entrance. Further
So
down.
I can
Oh,
set up multiple
we thought that the
tripwires.
tripwires would go down the hallway with the ball bearings.
Aye, but
Well,
the hallway's like really long, if you recall. We like walked down this really long hallway from the lava room to even here. It was a lot.
so I'm thinking I go 90 feet down, set a tripwire, throw ball bearings down, 10 feet behind that with a tent, then behind that, throw more ball bearings and another tripwire. That way they have a bunch of stuff to go through and we have plenty of time to react when we hear something.
I mean, at this point, I'm worth to give anything a try as long as I get the chance to just sit for a bit. Kind of see that he's still on the floor, and he's kind of just holding his side for a little bit, and he's kind of just like, "You're gonna set something up. I'm for it."
Right, so like. I only have a range of 60 feet, so if you're like 90 feet out, I'm not going to see the first two things if it's my turn to keep watch. I'll only see the last bit. Unless I'm going further down into the tunnel, and then I've got further to come back if I have to warn somebody of something.
Mm,
I
And
don't
if we're
have
putting a
as far
tent, we won't
of
necessarily be able to see past the tent either.
there's that too. Like I think the tripwire is more like being able to hear something before they get to the tent. But there's also that split,
Right, but
right?
if we
Like when we came up, it like kind of there was another turn before we went up.
So should we start at 60 feet then?
yeah, I can do 60 feet then.
I'm gonna take the tent off and be like, unstrap it from my bag and go, somebody want to put this up that can see? Here, take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Do we
There you
want
go.
to rest in this room though, or do we want to try to find another? I mean,
Well,
this room only has the one entry, so that's got a plus. But they know we're here, right? This is the last
do.
room we were in.
They do.
That might play to our advantage, though. Would they not assume that we would move?
Oh, I don't know. Syra, would you assume that we have moved? Do you think like a drow yet?
I don't think it matters what I say at this point.
They were pretty smart when we were down here before.
Okay, so the way that I came in, would there have been anything? Because that room is not very far, the big magma room.
Mhm.
Anything from the south that might have been a little bit more acceptable for us?
Let me. Oh, here I can. Sorry, I did not realize I didn't activate the map for you all. My apologies. Sorry about that. Sorry. There's your map back. And I need to look at the other half because I couldn't import this as one giant map. It was too big! Not for Foundry, for the map making software to export, it was too big. Not that I'm saying the mines go on forever and I've mapped out literally every single room for you guys to explore should you want to do so and fall victim to all the traps I've laid. Definitely not.
So we did come here to get into this room specifically to get diamonds. So if we do leave, should we first try to get some diamonds?
We should get some. Yes. We should get some diamonds for sure. Ooh, you know. I wonder if there's a way we can use the explosive to our advantage. Like force a cave in or something.
To
If I was
cave us
gonna-
in and then we die in a room full of diamonds. I mean, it's really shiny and really pretty, but I kind of
Aye.
have things to do.
Naval's gonna pull open his backpack. He's gonna dig around in there, and he's gonna pull out some of the dynamite. He's gonna be like, You're talking about this? He's kind of just holding it.
The explosives, eh?
Yeah. DM.
We
I don't know if I
could.
correct. I don't know if I was able to write it down. But how many sticks do I have?
If you didn't write it down, you've got at least one.
Okay. I'll check somewhere.
Oh, somebody
Since
wrote it down. It was 4.
Okay.
we could
Not a note to
just
die.
cave in the hallway that. How many entrances? Wait, how many entrances are this little cavern room we're in? At least 2, right? One way in and one way out.
Kappa, you see 1. Actually,
Okay.
Kappa, you don't see any because there's no light source.
Well, we could search the room to see if there is another way out, and we can collapse that pathway instead of this whole room. That way, we only have to worry about one entrance, the way we came in. Because right now, I know one way we came in, and I can't see past my finger, so I have no way to know if there are other ways out of this room.
I'm almost 100% sure this is the only way in and out. I can see pretty much the whole room.
Okay. So cave in bad.
You know, I was thinking about the way I came in, and if there might be a better place. Give me a second here.
Oh my gosh, reload. Come on. I just want to look at a different map. Just give me access to a different map. Okay, let's do this. Let's do a workaround. Okay, great. You loaded the map that's already here. Great, thanks. That's not what I wanted. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. North. The forge. I think the forge is just the forge. View. Yeah. The forge couldn't handle the south. Of course not. Okay. Open.
So
Worlds.
if we decide to stay here, a few of you could work on getting some diamonds while I set up the traps. And then once all that's done, we can take a rest. If nothing happens, then we just leave. If something shows up, then Naval, if you have the explosives, you could leave one of them near the entrance, so that way someone with fire could throw fire onto the explosive, and then whoever's coming in might just get blown up.
You guys seem to have gone around this place a little bit more than I have. Is this the only place with diamonds?
Based on the map we saw, this looks like the best area to get diamonds and other gems from.
And didn't you say that they're like very useful and they like, I don't know, bring people back and stuff? I don't know what you guys were talking about, but if they're super useful and we stay here, I think that they're definitely going to want to come back here for their, super shiny rocks. We probably should move. Just saying.
Well, what does everyone else think?
So Marigold.
Although I agree with Marigold, we run the risk of running into someone else as we backtrack or explore further.
Hang on, I got a thought about where I came from.
Um, where you came from. Give me a history roll. You know you came from a direction, but you're underground. Directions are weird. You're not sure what direction you're facing now. If you can get put back to where the lava is, maybe something will look familiar. But from what you remember when you fell down here was dead end after dead end, and it wasn't until you finally saw the light of lava that you were like, "Oh, there's light!"
You know what? I'm pretty sure that I had this mixed up with the other cave that I fell in once upon a time. That's a story for another day. Never mind. Never mind.
So it looks like the plan is to stay and booby trap the entrance. I guess that might, for our most immediate needs and risks, that is probably I believe, the best course of action.
Well, if you put a light up, I got this here shovel. I can try to get some of those diamonds off the side there.
I was gonna say we can try and get a diamond. If I was gonna reach down, pull over his hammer, and say, I could try getting one or two using this bad boy.
And also, I know we can't see color. Is it only diamonds that we see in here?
You have no idea.
Might have to light a torch for that. Or your hand, Kappa.
Yeah, if you guys want to create some light so you can work, I'll go set the traps up in the tunnel.
I am personally looking for some sapphires, so I will help look as Kappa
Lost.
lights his hand on fire.
Okay.
I was just looking for diamonds.
What radius does your hand do again as far as your fire
Produce
does?
flame?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
This is in the root data folder. It's called Mines Ordained South.
It's bright light for 10, dim light for 10.
Talk, I'm fucked.
There we go. So now if I go here, and then go back up. There we go. And this is the map that needs to go here. Fuck. Thank you. What? That's thank you. Finally. Okay, the maps are. Yeah. Sorry. I had two maps named the exact same, and Linux doesn't give a fuck. Windows would be like, excuse me, sir, did you mean to name that the same? And you'd be like, oh, no, bruh, my apologies, yo. No, Linux is like, I got you to the same fucking thing. You're like,
Rookie
wait.
mistake. Rookie mistake.
It really is. It really is. Resources, vision, light. What is it? 10 dim and 10 bright?
Yep, 10 bright, 10 dim.
I heard you talking and I see you now. Thanks for the light. I'm gonna follow you. Let's go.
Oh, there you are. Alright, Naval's gonna stand up, because he's still on the ground.
All right, so you're gonna have your torch light or your hand for actual light. Is anybody else doing anything else to bring light in order to investigate the gyms here in the back?
Since
Naval can light a
my
torch.
dancing lights have a range of 120 feet, I will leave my dancing lights in the room for them, since I can leave and leave them up.
Yeah. How long do they last?
I can check.
Are they 10 minutes? I don't know. While you're doing that, Naval, you said you're gonna light a torch?
Yeah. More light for looking at diamonds. I'll have a torch in one hand and my special fancy hammer in the other hand.
It only lasts for 1 minute.
Which means, unless you're going to keep casting them, they gone. What do you want to do?
I'll cast it before I leave, and when they go out, because I won't be able to cast it next to them unless I come back.
So you should have control over these, so you can move these wherever you want, as far as your recasting, and then we'll I'll just guesstimate about a minute into in-game. I mean, by the time people start to do some sort of investigation, they're going to go out, but you got that. And a torch is 20-foot radius, and dim light for an additional 20 feet. Okay. So, let me fix you, because technically dim light, excuse me, is 20. There we go.
We have is there an unaccounted for, not killed person in that left side of that, right there?
No, that just doesn't have
A death marker on it.
a death marker on it.
I had to make sure.
No, you're good. I get it. Bright light, 20 feet. Dim light. And you are torchlight. Update. There you go.
And why is there a bloody trail always coming from someone?
I think that it came from her. She's going that way with the tent.
I don't know why I have full health, actually, from the heal I got from last game.
Because people are bleeding. You're bleeding, so you're dropping blood everywhere you go. The blood doesn't just suddenly stop whenever you hit bloody and you're like, oh, I'm taking a rest. Blood continues to pour out of your body, guys. Like, this is a thing. And so, you leave blood trail.
I thought it was like, what was it, Ren or someone who just always expelled blood even at full health?
I mean, to be fair, she eats her meat raw, right? So there's always a little bit of blood, like blood drool coming off of her face anyway, or their face anyway. So it's, nah. But you cast light, you have got light. Naval has a torch, and Naval has disappeared. And Rin has disappeared. Apparently we're just one by one being shut down.
Whoa, what happened?
I don't know. she gone? Oh, Naval looks like he's coming back.
Okay, I'm gonna follow you guys to help get your diamonds off the wall.
Right.
Let's go.
Are we Are we doing diamonds and then setting up traps, or are we gonna do traps and get that? Like, Syra, I think you still need to do something, right? Like throw some bearings and some tripwires so we have something, and then if we decide to stay here, we can set up the tent.
Yeah, I'm
We
gonna
need
go
some
set
kind
up
of warning because these fuckers are like hard to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna set up some tripwires and throw some ball bearings down. And if you got when we're done getting the diamonds, we decide to stay. I'll put the tent somewhere down there, and we'll be good.
Aye, perfect.
Right.
Syra, go ahead and give me how many traps are you gonna set up?
I believe I have enough string and ball bearings to do at least 3 traps and have some extra leftovers. So I'll do 3 tripwires and ball bearings from between all of them.
Okay, so give me 3 dexterity checks for setting up the tripwires. Actually, no. Give me sleight of hand checks for hiding the tripwires. I can't. Yep, I can't see what that is. Is that a 16? 16, I think.
It is a 16.
Okay.
So that plus my dex.
Yeah.
Oh,
Plus your sleight of hand. You are setting these and trying to be quiet, or not quiet, but make them not so obvious.
it's 21 total.
Okay. And then go ahead and set up, roll again for your second one.
That is a 6. So that's 11 total.
All right. And are you doing furthest to closest? Are you doing
Yes.
closest to furthest?
Furthest to closest.
Okay. And then your last one.
That is a 9. So 14 total.
Okay. Okay. And your ball bearings, I mean, they are shiny, but maybe it'll be to your advantage that they pay more attention to the ball bearings than to any sort of string traps that you may have set. Yeah, sorry about the map thing, everybody. I kept clicking on the map south and going, that's not the south map. Why does that say the south map? So I had to log in to find out. Okay, so Naval Kappa, if you two want to move your characters over to the gems, we can see what you see. I like that I talked as the Duragar.
Aren't the gems just on the walls of the entire room, or were they in one
That's what
specific
I.
spot?
That's what I
They
thought.
are actually, Syra, did you tell anybody where the gems are since you're like the only one who can see them?
I definitely would have pointed them out
Okay.
before I left.
So you know, as far as this particular room is concerned, they are on the opposite wall of the entrance.
Ah, I shall go there.
All right.
Hey, you can see Ren again.
Oh,
And now, Naval, you can see. Ah!
ooh, shiny.
Although with Naval's torch, Keppa, you don't really need your hand to glow anymore. Do you want to keep it on or turn it off?
I'll keep it on.
Okay.
That way that if Naval goes further, I can know what I'm doing.
Okay.
More light, the better.
So, Kappa, you were looking for specific cuts of gems. What were you looking for?
Blue sapphire. Or sapphire.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check. All right. 19, not terrible. As you're as you're looking around, instead of like specifically looking for the color, you're more looking for the reflection of the color because currently you are blinded by the sheer amount of diamonds that are over here. The torchlight is being reflected and refracted so many times in this spot. It is hurting your eyes. You're having to like kind of shield like this because it just bounces and bounces and bounces and bounces and bounces and bounces and bounces. The light is just, instead of it being a typical nice warm torchlight glow, it's now this blinding white light over here on this side. Just diamonds is in this wall that you can see. And through that, you are able to see on the wall that is behind your token, kind of about 15 feet up, you can just make out about maybe the size of a gold piece, a blue reflection. But it is 15 feet up. And at this point, Dancing Lights is gone.
Good thing we got our own light.
I will keep one Syra kind of off to the corner where the light doesn't matter. In case you want to cast it again, you can. You should be able to copy and paste that and maneuver wherever it is that you want. And I'm not sure who it is, but somebody's like breathing really heavily into their microphone. If maybe switch yourselves to push talk or mute yourself or something, like it's just really loud randomly. And by the time it's over, I don't see who's lit up to know who it is. So Kappa, 15 feet up, you do see a speck of blue. And again, because everything else that you see looks either to be diamond or some sort of white quartz. Hard to tell which is which. Although Thynar kind of comes over here, being the cool dwarf guy that he is, and the fact that it's a family mine goes, oh, right, so found a bunch of fucking diamonds, eh? Oh, that's a big one right there. Oh, God.
Oh, there's so many. Oh,
Thynar, can you help me find a sapphire that's not 15 feet in the air? Maybe?
Ooh, I mean, I could certainly give it a go, but like diamonds require a lot more pressure than sapphires do whenever they're being formed in the earth. So it'd be hard pressed even to find. I'm surprised you found the one that you see. I wonder if that maybe fell from like a higher up mine or something. I don't know. That's weird. The pressure that a sapphire needs is significantly less than what diamonds need. So it's odd that that would even be over here. But I give it a go. Nivol, can you like block some of that light from your torch? You're kind of blinding us here, mate.
well, I mean, since you're further back, if I just gave you the torch, do you think the light wouldn't be bouncing off so much?
Oh,
I,
I don't know.
I hand out the torch to him.
Right. But, like, Kappa wants me to try to find a sapphire, so I'm gonna have to get closer. Unless you're gonna look for the sapphire.
Well, I mean, I planned on just looking for stones myself.
Alright, well, fine, sure, whatever.
We can help look for sapphires too.
I mean, y'all are looking for sapphires. I'm just looking for diamonds. And I mean, there's plenty here. I could try and pick some out.
And he now has the torch.
Could we place the torch about 19 feet out and use like the refractive light of the torch off the diamonds to kind of give the room a little glow?
I mean, I could do that, but, I'd have to, like, go over here to my tools and drag some light out here and click it. And I'm kidding. Yeah, I'll get that done.
Thank you, I know.
40 and 20. This is torchlight. We'll have it be kind of a not quite so weird light. Save. And on. And like there.
Yeah, and just kind of give it a using instead of like having the lights right up next to the diamonds, just kind of there and just the edges of the light, kind of using reflective and refraction, and just kind of
Bounce
slowly
off
lighting it.
diamonds.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So Thynar is going to be looking specifically for sapphires. The rest of you just see diamonds. Like there's big ones, there's small ones, there's some as big as your head. Thank you, I appreciate the head bob. But most of them are still encased in earth. Like they're not just laying there. Someone's gonna have to get the mining pick out, start hacking away at the earth here in order to break any of these loose. Even if you have those tiny mine explosives, you still have to create a hole for the explosives to go into, and then plan for the destruction of whatever's around it. So Thynar's going to go ahead and look, but just so you're all aware.
Your thing to get the diamonds out. Can I have that?
So, can we not, if we're trying to take a rest?
No, not the explosives. Just the pick thingy. I can get some of these out.
That seems fair. Can
I,
I not also look to try and find whatever specific stone other than diamond, sapphire, right?
sure. Anybody else want to make a roll?
I mean, I would just like to make a roll for just any other gem that's not a diamond that catches my eye, because I'm getting diamonds, but I'm not looking for specifically sapphires.
Okay,
So
then
I'm
yours
just-
is going to be a perception check.
Okay.
Because you're just glancing around looking for anything
Just
that
seeing if
jumps
anything
out at
catches
you.
me.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Ren, you're going to be an investigation.
Aw. Okay.
And Ren is gone.
Once they're starting to hack away at these to get them, I am definitely watching this hall to see if anyone hears
Sure.
and comes this way.
Kappa, I don't see any other sapphires, mate. Well, just that one way up tall there.
thanks for trying, mate.
Hey, can you, like, turn into something like this big, and I could just kind of climb on your shoulder and hack it away at it, maybe, to try and get it if you really want it?
I'm thinking about that, but I'm looking. Yes. One moment.
Well, hey, okay. Ren, with your 12 for sapphires, the light of diamonds is just too blinding. Too blinding.
Same for me. Oh, they're so bright. So bright. Oh, it's bedazzling my eyes. I think my eyes might turn to diamonds after being this close.
Marigold, your shovel. And I mean, you can certainly try, but neither of those tools are meant for breaking rock. This isn't dirt. This is rock. Is up and over and around these diamonds.
Whatever's
Um,
loose, I'll start kind of getting it out of the way. Like maybe they'd already started in an area and just kind of start shoveling it away.
okay. Give me a investigation check to see if you can find a spot that has already been started. And then who had any of the mining picks?
I have something I'd like to try, if I may. I want to see if I can use my fancy dancy hammer in a way, because I was thinking, like, if I remember correct, my hammer has like a flat side, and then is it like a pick side or is it like a wedge side? Kinda.
It's a flat side and a ball peen side.
A ball peen. So, oh,
Yeah, it's a ball and a
way
flat.
I had a way different image in my head, but good to
Yeah,
know that
it's a
now.
ball side
Okay.
and a flat side.
Okay. Well then, okay. Originally I had two ideas, but now I kind of just have one idea since I know it's a ball peen side now. Um, would I be able to look for a spot in this bright, shiny, diny thing of diamonds for like an area that's like lacking? Because the idea that I have is, the ball's kind of remembering back to when he was like making his gun and stuff. He remembered that his hammer had the ability to like flatten metal. I wasn't sure if he'd be able to kind of use that same idea to just provide a concussive force and maybe just smack it hard and see if it can get some diamonds to maybe like just kind of pop themselves out of the wall or something.
I
And the
mean,
reasoning
you can
why
certainly try.
and the reasoning why I'm looking for like a wall area that's like not so full of diamonds is because I could be wrong. I'm not don't know how physics works, but like I'm imagining if I hit that kind of area, like it would kind of spread to like the edges of where diamonds are, and then it'd be easier for like diamonds to kind of just pop out, if that makes sense.
That would only work if like the material you're hitting like can bend and flubber rubber wise, but if you're doing this to rock, that's not going to work.
Well, I mean, I could just aim for a cluster of
Well, you can
diamonds
try,
too.
but physics wise, it's not going to work.
Like if I can look for just like a giant clustered area of diamonds, I could just see if I can make that explode, and then I'd get like pieces of diamonds or something like that.
You can certainly try.
Kappa has an idea for that, but it's going to make a very, very, very loud noise.
I mean, I'm gonna, because I don't have a mining pick, so I'm just gonna give that a shot. What kind of roll do I do for that? Because I don't know if I have any like tinkering stuff set up in terms of like a usable roll or anything in here.
This is going to be just a pure strength check.
Using the hammer, or just my
Yeah.
own strength with the hammer.
Using just you're not
Or just
forging
roll a-
anything. You're just breaking rock. It's just a hammer.
Well, but like trying to channel that memory or energy into the hammer doesn't do anything for me.
You're not in the process of creation. You're the process of destruction. So it's just a strength check. You go to swing the hammer, and it's just a hammer in your hand, and you're heading against rock.
Okay, fine. Strength. Fine.
Ting! God! God! Yeah!
You know,
Ugh.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna shit this thing. I'm just gonna say, fuck this. Someone else get diamonds. Jesus Christ.
I didn't pick up one of the mining picks. I thought somebody else did, and apparently we did not. There's not one in my inventory. So I've got this hammer that goes boom when I smash things with it. I don't know if that'll do anything to rock. It goes
No.
boom when I hit people.
The ball's pissed. He's just gonna go sit down by the torch and mutter to himself.
Naval, can we borrow that hammer for a moment, please?
Sure you can. Don't break it. This is an important hammer to me. And then he's just gonna
we'll
kind
give
of
it right back.
here, catch. And he's gonna chuck. He's gonna throw it at her.
What hammer are you throwing?
My fancy dancy hammer.
Okay. When you throw the hammer over to Ren, the hammer flows straight up into the sky, and embeds itself into the roof of the cavern here.
Oi! Get back down here!
Does that happen often?
What? What did I
That might
know?
have been the first time that's happened.
Thunder goes, "That's weird. I can usually throw mine and it just comes right back." Here.
Well, you'd think since I'm standing on ground beneath my feet, it'd fall to that. But why
Well,
did
you
you go
know-
up?
Maybe Ubok doesn't like Ren.
Did you make it mad? You know, when I was little, I had these animals, and I have so many brothers and sisters. You can't give your animals away. That's just wrong. Did you make it mad? Maybe
Did
you
you
should
not
talk
he-
nicely.
Did you not hear me give it a compliment before? I said you're very important to me.
Yeah, but you tried to give it away. That's traumatizing.
So am I never allowed to? Because I remember I've handed it to people before. This isn't the first time I've let someone else hold it.
You did get angry at it when you failed, or
Just-
angry in general.
Ask nicely.
I wasn't mad at the hammer though. I was mad I wasn't able to get anywhere.
Ooh. I've got
I didn't-
gunpowder for some reason. Maybe we should just throw a barrel here, light it, and run the fuck away, and let it go boom.
So, Thynar, I can get to basically any spot in this cavern, no matter how high. Would you like to ride me?
Ooh. If we had like a pick, I'd be all for it. Let me try with my hammer. It didn't go so good with Naval, but mine actually goes boom when I hit things. Where Naval's more like for tinkering and making things, right? Mine's for breaking things. Let me give it a whole wacky and see if maybe we can get some of these here diamonds, and then if it works, then we go for your sapphire. Although, why do you want the sapphire? I'm just curious.
So, when we were at the library, when we were not exiled and hated, I was given a book that allowed me some special to do something extra, all but I needed sapphire dust. So that's just me personally.
Alright. Well, let me give it a little wacky.
Okay. So Kappa channels the aura.
No, wait. Kappa, don't waste your thing yet. Let me see if I can just do something here. Like Naval's hammer didn't work, right? Let me see if mine does. Or will we waste anything?
Okay.
Because if I just hit rock and my big booms don't go boom, right? Then we're still back to like doing nothing, right? So here we go. You guys watch as Steinar takes his hammer and right, so no big booms. It's not made for breaking rock, apparently. It's breaking flesh. Sorry, Ubok. I didn't mean anything by it. Don't fly away.
Okay.
Can I
They've all-
try Ubok's cleaver as like a small pick to try to like a knife, try to get behind one and just flip it out?
So
Instead of using pure strength.
it's not a knife though. It's a cleaver.
It's got a point though, doesn't it?
It technically does have at least 2 triangular 90-degree points.
Yeah. At this point, we're just grasping at whatever we could find to try to get these things out.
Right, so I say we just go back and get some actual tools to do this with, right? Like the center area where the forge was the place to make the tools. We saw tools back where we went. If we really want some diamonds, we can go get some tools. I don't think your
Okay.
wee meat cutter's gonna break
Yeah.
rock, right?
Yeah. Okay. Ren, they can move very quickly. Do you think you can just zoom back over there, grab him, and zoom back?
Didn't that the wait, Syra? Syra already went to set up the traps. Isn't that gonna be a problem for the whole zoom zoom thing?
Ah. Uh, maybe we can talk to Syra, and Syra can tiptoe past and then zoom.
Syra, give me a perception check. Thank you. Coast is clear so far.
Is the hammer still in the ceiling?
I was gonna say I wanted to ask. So relative to where I'm standing on the ceiling, where is my hammer right now?
Um, your hammer is in between you and Ren, and it's 30 feet up above you, and probably about
uh,
3 inches into the ceiling.
so that's how high the ceiling is above us, is about 30 feet, and you're saying it's like about where, like here
Like,
ish.
yeah, that's a good spot. Yep.
Okay, so like if I'm standing and I'm kind of just looking straight up, I can kind of just it's stuck to the ceiling, or like it's in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay, Naval would like to see if he can try something. So what he's gonna do is he's just gonna kind of compose himself because he was a little frustrated before, but he's gonna try and calm himself a bit. And then what he's gonna do is he's just gonna kind of somewhat look up in the direction of the hammer. He's gonna close his eyes. He's gonna see if he can reach his hand out, and he's just gonna kind of say into the air to himself, but he's kind of trying to direct it towards the hammer. He's just gonna say, "Okay, we've been through a lot. I'm a bit hurt. We've been through a lot of stress. I didn't mean to take it out on you. So, if you could give me another chance, just come down, please, or come back." And he's gonna try and see if he can get the hammer to kind of just come back to him.
Give you a persuasion check.
Okay. Okay.
So, the hammer does start to slowly drift down,
Uh-huh.
and gets to about where your fingers can just touch it before zoop, back up into the ceiling again.
Can I like use a reaction to maybe jump and kind of grab it? just as it's about to touch my fingertips, can I just kind of hop up and see if I can like grab the handle?
Yeah, sure. Give me a dexterity check.
Okay.
See if you're quick enough.
Just like a straight dexterity roll.
Just a straight dexterity roll, yeah.
All right.
To see if
Alright.
you can make it happen.
Uh,
As you jump, it's almost like it knows what you're thinking and about to do. It swerves around and still goes up into the same spot and embeds itself even further. It's now about like 4 inches into the ceiling.
and after that happens, I get back down and I'm just kind of looking up and I was just like, I was being sincere.
Marigold, you just watch this guy talking to this hammer flying in the air. Yeah.
This isn't unusual. It's fine. Hey, do you mind if I give it a try?
I don't know at this point. I'm so confused. I really thought I was being genuinely trying to, apologize, but
But you
I
tried
don't
to
know.
give it away. You injured it. It needs some more coaxing. You need to be genuine and say that I will not abandon you. You are my friend.
All
Do you
right.
think I should try it again?
Yes, try again.
Like it being
Instead
more
of the
sincere in my
hammer,
words?
try talking to Ubak instead.
Yeah. Apparently
I thought the
it's a person.
oh,
I'm confused.
I,
But yeah, talk
I'm
to
so.
Ubak.
I mean, Kappa, you do have a point. You got to remember. I know I've had the hammer for a while, but I'm sure between all of us and all of our things, we're still pretty new to it. But I'll I'll try again. I really do feel bad for what they did, but here he's
Actually,
gonna take
before
a
you try,
uh-huh.
Thynar, would you like to assist Naval in possibly talking to Ubak to convey that he is able to be trusted again while we kind of stand with him and kind of, you know, pointing our Ubak items towards the hammer.
I I mean, sure. I'll give it a try, but I don't know. It sounds like a personal matter between Naval and Ubak here.
True,
Naval's
but
never tried to give Ubak away for somebody else to use. It was always to inspect and look at, never to be used by another. So maybe Ubak's feelings are hurt. I don't know.
maybe he trusts us,
That's what
and
I said.
so let's just give it a try.
We do have that weird like metal link, right? So maybe we need to try that, and maybe if we can establish that metal link with the his hammer. Uh, I don't
So
know.
That's not
let's
something Naval would know about, right? Because if I remember correct, he didn't figure that out while they were figuring it out in the tent.
Nope. This
That
is
whole
first
mental
you've
link
heard.
thing.
Yours is the first you're hearing about any sort of mental link.
so
What are
just
you guys talking about? The mental link?
trust us.
What what's
Just
that?
just think about Ubak
Just,
will help.
Like
like
just think.
think happy
Okay.
thoughts, right? Just think happy
Happy
thoughts.
thoughts.
I happy thoughts.
Naval's gonna take a couple more deep breaths, kind of just in through the nose, out through the
So right now
mouth.
I am uh telepathically talking to Thynar and just not really just connecting with him, but then also extending. I'm remembering the feelings of Naval when I first felt this connection to everyone, the inquisitive feeling, the knowing of knowing more. So just trying to focus on those feelings and directing
Okay.
it that way.
All right. Um.
And then so Naval's also gonna, after composing himself, he's gonna do kind of the similar thing he did before, where he kind of puts his hand out, it kind of just prepping for her, because what he's doing right now is what he imagined, like this isn't even what he's mentally thinking yet in terms of like what he would say yet. All he's thinking is that he kind of imagines the whole reaching his hand out thing would be the right kind of a thing to do if you're trying to like, because he's kind of remembering back to when he saw Forge Hammer wielding like the kind of a weapon where he was able to kind of just, if he were to like throw it or like he could call it back to him, kind of similar to the thing that Dinar can do with his weapon too, kind of. And he's kind of just thinking, maybe this is how this works. He's kind of just testing it. It almost worked before. But yeah, he's gonna kind of calm himself, reach his hand out again, and then he was kind of just waiting to see if the others were gonna do something first, and if not, then he was gonna start thinking of what he was gonna say.
Okay. Um, so, Kappa, as you're thinking about the first time you really sat with the cleaver, right? After giving hints that there were more possibilities with these items other than just their mundane versions, other than just being able to hack and slash and cook, right? There's more to them. And that first day when you really reached into it and then reached your out and you briefly touched on everybody's minds. And as you're trying to focus on what you felt when touching Naval's mind, and then through that link, sharing that with Thynar, so that Thynar can kind of try to make that same connection. And as you all reach out towards the Tinker Hammer, Naval, go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage.
Mm-hmm. Do I? Is it just a mere thought of me with them joining me? Do I need to say anything, or am I just making a check? I'll make a check.
You already said what you're doing and thinking and all that.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'm also while my hands out, I'm kind of just thinking about Ubak too. We're all kind of thinking that persuasion with advantage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Advantage. All right.
As you're really focusing on all of this, just in general, trying to make that connection again. The hammer starts to come back down.
Mm-hmm.
It comes back down, and it kind of just barely touches your fingers again.
Yep, and I'm not gonna move.
It hovers there for a moment,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and then it bonks you on the head before flying back up again.
Oh!
It's now 5 inches into that. And Thynar just starts cussing. Like, straight up, dwarvish sailor, pissed off, talking about a little brother who just never wants to fucking listen, and he takes his hammer and starts twirling it, and in Thor style, smashes up against the ceiling, grabs the tiny hammer before coming back down to the ground. And just his bigger hammer, first, in comparison to your smaller hammer, just goes, "That's enough." And then he just just holds it out for you. Just grab it. Just grab it.
I got it.
Just
I'm
grab
grabbing it. I'm grabbing it. I'm holding
Okay.
it.
And he just holds his bigger hammer out towards it. Don't pull this kind of crap again.
Uh-huh.
Luckily, that was only 30 feet. That's as far as this thing goes.
Oh, thank you, Thynar. And the hammer's Naval's just kind of holding it right now. It's not like trying to do anything.
You seem to have your tinkering hammer back.
Okay.
Right. So now that we've spent 400 fucking years here doing all this bullshit, let's see here.
Y'all might have to try and explain more of this mind link thing to me later. I'd love to know
So,
more.
Naval, would you like to try to use the pick to not using strength to bash him out? Just try to
We don't
pick at it.
Before,
we don't have a pick. That's
Oh,
all the
that's right.
problem.
Sorry, my fault. My fault. My fault.
Right.
Before Naval says anything, he's just gonna gingerly take the hammer, and he's just gonna carefully just to make sure it doesn't fly away from him again. He's just gonna kind of set it back in the loop spot where he had it on his belt, and just make sure he kind of just leaves it to its own devices until he wants to think about it again. And he's just gonna let it do its thing there on his belt there.
Has anybody seen Syra? All right, there's 1, 2,
What?
3, 4, and 5.
I mean, I believe they're still gone. I haven't seen them back yet.
Oh crap! I wonder if there's more of those fucking invisible people around. Maybe Syra's dead.
Oh
That
boy.
would suck.
Well, I mean, I think unless anybody else wants to give one more shot, I felt like we gave it a fair go at getting some diamonds. I'd rather go and see if we could find our friend, and if they're in trouble, maybe save them.
So
Ren, you're muted
someone
or something. You're not lighting up. I see you talking, but there's nothing happening.
can someone pick up
Nothing.
the torch, or someone with can see in the dark, kind of see where Syra and what they're doing.
Right.
I'll take the torch.
Hey, we'll stop right there. Syra! As all of these people were trying to figure out why this tiny hammer was having a temper tantrum like a toddler, you decide to sneak off on your own. Knowing where you have your traps, I need you to still make a dexterity check with advantage unless you're going to take them down. If you're leaving them, you're going to have to skirt over past ball bearings. You're just going to do one check with advantage. You know where they all are. I just need one dexterity check for you. I have no idea what that is. Is that a 10? A 4? It could be anything. A 9? Syra, what is it? Syra, 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 what is it? Syra. Syra, come back.
It's a die.
Remember, you have to be clicked into the web page for everything to work.
Oh, the suspense is killing me. I want to know what that number is.
The first roll was a 17 for 2022. Oh, because you had advantage, you rolled twice. I understand. Okay. 22, easily enough. You know exactly where everything is. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Right on passing through it. You come past where it kind of wise off, and you know that the path on the right goes down to the lava area that you want. Now, are you just booking it straight there, or are you trying to be quiet about it? What is it you're doing? What do you got? What are you doing? What it is, cuz, what it is. He's gone. We've lost another one. They're
Oh
just
boy.
popping them off. I don't think it liked him switching cameras.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, here he's
Guys,
back.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay! Woohoo! So, what was the last thing you said? 'Cause it was annoying.
What was the last thing you heard?
Last thing I heard was you starting to explain what happened after I rolled the 22.
Oh, I was just saying you recognize that split, that Y, knowing that the path to the right is the one that goes further down as far as closer to the mines. You suspect, from your perspective, the path to the left is going to take you to the elevator shaft. As far as what you remembered about the map. But then I was asking if you're just like straight beelining towards your destination, or you're trying to be cautious and careful. What is Syra's overall theme here?
I am going to go quietly with the most direct route back to get the pickaxes.
Okay. After getting past all of your traps, I'm gonna need another stealth roll from you. As you're getting closer towards your destination.
21 total.
Okay. As you follow the path down for an obscene distance, Jeepers, like another 120 feet. Um, you come to the opening. Sorry about hitting the mic. You come to the opening of that southern section. You can see the heavy, weird, strange black chains that support that central pillar. You have the pathway straight across from you as you're coming out. Straight to your right is one of the twisted metal ladders, and then there is another one straight for perspective, let's say south of you. Give me a perception check.
Uh, 17.
Okay. With a 17, you can see that probably another maybe 200 feet across the lava on the other side of this canyon, of this just giant domed opening, you do see two Duragar, two Drow, as well as three, we'll say, regular dwarfs. Not darker skinned like the others. Um, they're a little bit taller than the Duragar. Duragar are a little bit shorter versus normal dwarves. These dwarves do have this bright red hair, very similar to Thynar's bright red beard, because you don't really know if he's got hair. He's always wearing his helmet. Um, you're not sure as far as overall genders, but you do see them. They don't appear to have spotted you yet. What do you want to do?
I will go to my right and go to the bridge to the center and quietly make my way to the center, grab a couple pickaxes, and back out the way I came.
Okay. Give me another stealth roll, because you stop to look, and now you see danger. You're going to have to cut down slowly, quietly. It's quite a distance.
23.
Okay. Being cognizant of them, you kind of just like bring your cloak further back around you, stay closer against the natural dark stone of the chamber, um, even to the point of hiding your long white hair, just trying to be as dark as possible in this very bright chamber. I mean, lava glow is pretty bright. You feel like, at least for now, nobody has seen anything. As you get to the bridge, and you start making your way over. At this point, that group of people is over the top left section of this chamber. Um, if you remember, the chamber itself, up on the northern side, had four not caved in entryways. There's obvious where there were others, but they were caved in. You came from the top right one. They appear to be going to the top left one. So far, not aware of anything. as you make your way over this 100-foot long bridge. You get about 75, 80, 90 feet before one of them turns around and very audibly goes, "Do you understand Dwarvish?"
I
You have
understand
rudimentary.
what I was taught. Yes.
That's right. You have rudimentary. Give me an intelligence roll. I don't hear you.
21 total.
21. Okay. You don't understand everything, but you do get 2 words. When they turn around to speak to whoever it is that they are following, you do understand the word for master. And then they turn around and point, and you understand the word sister. And the troop stops, and they turn around. And the 2 drow come forward, and in a language you understand, "Hail, sister! What are you doing? There are bandits about! Some of our brethren have already fallen!" And they're making their way over. They are coming closer to the north bridge, as that is the closest one to them. In order to They're obviously coming towards you.
I was told to grab some equipment and bring it to the mine. The where the jewels are.
Give me a deception check. And I want to see this roll, mother trucker.
Oh, I can switch the camera. Hold. That's. I mean, I can roll it again, but technically,
It's
it's
an
an
8?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your total?
Uh, total for deception would be 12.
The the Drells, you could tell they're obviously kind of questioning, because one of them goes, what is a sister doing work like that for? That is not the work of a matriarch."
This was a personal favor.
"From whom?" As they are now at the beginning of the Twine Bridge of the North, making their way over. You are in. I imagine you didn't stop. You went into the forge area itself. So they are maybe 120, 130 feet away.
Mm-hmm. I don't actually remember his name, but he did help me earlier, so I figured this would be a simple way to repay it.
"Sister, are you under duress? Are you okay? Do you need assistance? This is something about what you say is just. It doesn't seem right."
I'm quite alright. I just need a little time to straighten things out.
All right. All right. We will escort you. They are now about 70 feet away. They are halfway over the bridge. Well, they're more like 60. If they're halfway over the bridge, they're about 60 feet away. Give me another active perception check as they are now closer. You can pick out a little bit more details about them.
You still can't read it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know it's terrible.
It's
It's a
hard to
12.
read.
12. Okay.
Which would be 19 total.
Okay. Even with a 19, you can see that the one that is talking to you, and both of the drow, first of all, both the drow are very well dressed, in that they are, they both have a type of leather armor, but like their pauldrons are a little bit more reinforced. You can see obvious weapons at their side, but the one that's talking to you seems to. They actually have like a kind of a leather coat that hangs off to the side, is obviously split in the back for them to be able to move. It kind of buttons, and the buttons are silver, and they seem to have lines across one shoulder, 3 silver lines. It kind of gives you the impression of rank in some way, shape, or form, though you're not familiar enough to know what level of rank this is. But as he walks to you, his hands are kind of behind his back, and his back is very up straight. He's very like centered while he's walking. The other drow is more head down, not giving you direct eye contact. The Duragar just kind of they're just following, looking around, and the 3 dwarves behind them are in a single file line, heads down, like doing nothing. So, kind of giving you some sort of at least impression as far as whatever this person is, they are high ranked enough that they do not have to look away from a matriarch. They are the hierarchy. They are somewhere either as equals or without knowing your rank within the atrocity. If they would have to defer to you, they appear to be presenting themselves as your better. Just from the 60 feet away looking at them. And when he said that we will scorch you, it definitely was not a question.
I don't need any help. Once I'm done doing this, I need to get back to the mission Giselle gave me. So please stay out of my way.
Right, sister, that may very well be, but you seem to be traveling alone, and I've already warned you that there's some untowds about. So for your safety and my neck, should Giselle know that you were harmed and I had an opportunity to help and did not, that would be bad for me. So, I have some slaves with us. They can carry whatever it is that you need. We shall take it to your friend who helped you, and when you are returned, we will be about on our way.
If you're that concerned, then how about I take one of the Duergar, he can take the stuff for me and make sure I'm safe, and you can keep doing what you're doing.
Make a persuasion check. I'm going to say with disadvantage, though, because they're already kind of onto something's weird. don't want these brutes with you. It'll be fine. We'll just carry your stuff, and we'll guide you to where you need to be. I insist, sister.
Fine. Fine. We'll do it your way.
Excellent. What is your name, sister?
Syra? Mm-hmm.
Right? Normally there's a family name that goes along with that, Syra.
Well, you're not going to get my full name just yet.
Fair enough. I am General Zorban. Currently overseeing these operations in the Queen Mother's lawless name. And while Giselle is her champion, Giselle is only new to come back. Doesn't quite have the same rank as she used to.
I realize that, and that's why she sent me on a mission to help her out.
Fair enough. Let us get this done so that the champion can have these piddly scraps here in the forge. He turns around, and in Dwarvish, you you don't know the words 100%, but you can just the three dwarves like then start to move up. He's obviously giving some sort of instruction, and he turns back around and goes, "What is it that you would like for them to carry?"
I need 3 of these pickaxes. And that's it.
Most excellent. One for each. And you do understand the dwarvish term for pickaxe. So he's obviously telling them to pick up some of the pickaxes. And they do find 3. They do pick up 3 that are in usable shape. And then General Zorban looks over at you and goes, "After you."
Right. We'll go this way. And I will head down the tunnel towards where the mines are that we left off at.
Where the diamond mines are.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to go back over the bridge that you came to and go to the north right section.
Yeah, but
Okay.
when I hit the crossroads where there's 2 different directions, I'm gonna turn towards the lift.
Okay. Okay. Easy enough to do as you make your way up and over. So why does the champion require meaningless tools for mining? That's a slave's work. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around that.
The tools aren't for her. The tools are for someone else that I owe a favor to, and once I'm done repaying the favor, I go back to the mission for Giselle.
Ah, now I understand. All right. How far can these douche nozzles see? Oh, beautiful. As you come up that way, and just before you're getting to that bend that she wants to talk about, you feel a hand on your shoulder. Just strongly grabbing your shoulder to stop you from moving, and then you hear in the General Zorban's voice go, Look, sister. Those are the bandits I warned you about. The fools still have the torches lit. If we go now, we can eliminate this insect before Lowlift needs to be before Lowlift comes back.
I'm not exactly prepared for a fight right now.
So what do you suggest? To leave the insects be.
Hmm, we know they're here. We can lay a trap for them and move on until we're better equipped.
He kind of looks you up and down, seeing the weapons that you have, and goes, "You appear very equipped as is. Plus, we have the slaves and a couple of allies here with the Dorgar. Plus Zatan here. I think we are very equipped to take care of them."
Mm,
But if you want to set a trap, I'm fine with that too. What did you have in mind?
hmm. I'm not really sure.
Oh damn. As you're saying you're not really sure, he kind of he goes, "Look, sister." And he points out they tried to set traps of their own. He just points over your shoulder. 1, 2, 3. 3 looks like at least 3 tripwires here.
Then maybe they're not here at all. They could have set the torch up and these traps just to lure us in.
Sister, your eyes broken. I can see them. They're standing in the light like idiots.
Are you sure they're not illusions, though?
No, I'm not sure that they are not illusions.
This is the only path into the room. They could have a lot of traps down there.
Make a persuasion check. Because that's true. They could.
I will change the camera for you because it's not a 20, but it's close. So,
So 19,
17.
17 plus. Yeah, I see that fucking 17. Dick. 17 plus what?
Persuasion, right?
Yeah.
4, so 21.
Okay. You hear him say, you know what? Give me an intelligence roll. Just a flat intelligence roll. You see him talking in Dwarvish again, whispering underneath his breath.
18.
The only word that you understand is return. And one of the dwarves hands the pickaxe he was carrying to another one, and then he just starts taking off like clouds of like soot and sediment kicking up behind him. As he turns around, give me a perception check. as he's taken off.
22.
You're not 100% sure, but you felt like there was a strange, and you're in dark vision, so you can't really tell too much. But on the back of that particular dwarf's neck, there was a strange reflective surface. Like something is there. It's not like collar like. It's just something maybe about 2.5 inches tall is on the back of this thing's neck, and you're not sure what it was, and you just got a brief glimpse before like the hair falls back into place as he's taking off. And the general goes, "All right, sister. Perhaps these are just diversionary traps, and maybe those further on are illusions to pull in unsuspecting prey. But if not, that'd be some fun for them later. Lead on, sister. Let us complete this trek."
On we go. Now, start heading down the tunnel towards
Okay.
the lift.
We're going to pause with you for a second, come back to the rest of the group. I know Ren was saying something like they have super duper dark vision before we cut. What was the plan here? Because Steinar's like, I'm not sure where Syra is. Ren, you kind of like disappear in the dark. Maybe you should go like look for them? But don't go like too
That-
far, right? Like just kind of get a peek and come back.
That was going to be our suggestion.
Perfect. I'm glad we had this talk. Ren,
And you
how
were- yes.
how far is your dark vision?
90 feet.
Okay. What is do? Nope, nope. Damn. Okay. Had it just been a little bit further. As you make your way towards the entrance of this area, you don't see Syra. And you've got pretty good vision. You could do a quick loop around here, and there's no Syra. Being the hunter that you are, looking down and around, you can't really see any definitive footprints either, because the Duragar are so, their feet are unfortunately so fudging massive versus Syra's little dainty things. It's all stomped over and on. There's no like definitive footprint. Do you want to continue down the pathway? Yeah? Give me a perception check, please. And are you trying to be stealthy about this? Like, she's lit up like she's talking, but I don't hear anything. But she's lit up this time. There's just nothing coming out. There's nothing.
Are you on mute?
Does your headset have a mute button? No. I don't know. You were just talking and now you're not. Six for perception? Okay. And you're trying to be stealthy, right? So was 6 your stealth? Did you roll? Okay, roll again. Roll for stealth. $16. Okay. I need to take one of these away. Do do ba do boo. Okay. Ren, as you come down this pathway, excuse me, you come to a Y split, and you know that the current path, the one on the right, will get you, excuse me, back to the lava. You can just start seeing a little bit of light further down. On the left-hand side, as you peek down there, you see some kind of movement, but it's out of your range before you can really see what it is. But Syra, both you and General Zorban turn around at the same time. You can't see anything, but you swear you heard something walking, some sort of crunch of a boot on a rock that just wasn't expecting the rock to break apart and it leave this like sound like walking on gravel. And you both look behind you. You don't see anything. Like you both do this at the same time. Like look behind, and then you kind of look at each other like, did you just? But did you just? And they kind of like double back look again. But there's nothing there. And so they continue following you. But you come to a point where you can either continue going forward or make a right hand turn. Um,
I'm gonna stop at this crossroad actually. Like,
Okay.
alright, he told me just to leave the picks here, so I guess just leave them in the corner and I'll get back to my mission.
Uh, Ren, if you want to turn left towards whatever weirdness you saw, you definitely can. But you don't know what it is you saw. It was at the edge of your vision. You don't hear anything right now, no. No, other than, well, as soon as you turned and looked, it went just out of your vision, and then there was like nothing. There was like you were looking, taking a gander. You know you saw something, but you were doing that whole pause and just really stare, try to focus your eyes to see if you can see any sort of detail. And you didn't hear anything. So it's at this point you can either pursue or keep going because Syra hasn't said anything yet. What would Rin do? Would Rin would follow, try to figure out what it was that they were looking at? Okay. Um, as you say what you say, Syra, about just leaving the things here, the general does this and then points behind again before looking back. And you can still hear where someone is obviously trying to walk quietly, but they're just not doing a very good job versus some of y'all's even passive perceptions. Ren, you go probably be, I would say, about 10 or 15 feet. You're trying to get that distance, keep that distance. And then what you can see is you see with your dark vision, because you can't see shades of color, what appears to be at least 4 Duragar and some other figures that you can't really make out. But now you do hear Syra's voice saying, "Well, actually, give me an investigate. Give me a active perception. Would you realize it was Syra's voice? Give me a perception check, Ren. Would you realize that was Syra's voice? With your oh, no, solid no, like a 2. Nice. So you do hear. You speak Undercommon, right? Yeah. Yeah. So you do hear an Undercommon, which I would imagine Syra would be speaking to. Yes. Okay. So you do hear an Undercommon about leaving these pickaxes here, put them in the corner. An obvious female drow voice, but you don't recognize the voice. So you've gathered there's at least 4 Duragar and maybe one female drow out of the shadowy figures that you can't really make out. Do you keep going or do you go backwards? What does Ren do here? No, it's weird because you're
After
lit up like you're talking, but there's just nothing happening. It's like your microphone goes, nah, not today.
after
Yeah,
the
basically.
general told me to be quiet, basically, I will whisper to him, maybe you should have your men take defensive positions behind the wall and we can hide and prepare for whatever's coming.
we we could do that, sister. We could definitely do that, but there is something unseen back there. We could go just a little bit further and let them have a surprise of their life.
I'll follow you this time.
Ren, you've seen female drow in tunnels in this structure before, always with an entourage, so it's not unfamiliar to you that you hear a female voice and at least 4 Duragar plus some shadowy figures that you're just not close enough to see what they are. One of them could be the female drow that you are hearing. It's just too far for you to be able to get good detail. Um, so it's not they're not common. It's not a common thing, but you've seen a handful as they were either doing some sort of inspections or walking from one tunnel to the other with whatever work they were doing. So you don't hear the whisper. You heard you're just too far, unfortunately. You heard the put the things here, um, and then the general whispered back to her, "Let's just continue forward a little bit further, and there will be a surprise for whatever is behind us." Um, Give me a perception check. $15. You can see that a couple of the shorter, potentially dwarvish figures, they keep looking back in your direction. Like they're not the most subtle. Durag are not the most subtle creatures, right? They're like whatever. They both like turn back, and they're like doing this motion where they're trying to see you or see something, but they obviously currently do not. Oh, yeah, switch to the wall with your fucking cheat mode climb bullshit. Fucking climb, damp, you're hanging upside down. You keep, you certainly can go from wall to ceiling. Keep in mind, just remember though that these tunnels were built for dwarves, so they constantly are fluctuating between sizes. Most of them were still only 5 feet tall, so I mean, you can definitely go from here, but you have to be crawling this way because they're not very wide. Remember, you were almost shoulder to shoulder in a lot of these passages, very single file. So you'll have to be going like this and do more of a climb like this. Definitely can because you're fucking cheat mode. Um, it will be. I will say it will be slower, even though I believe your climb speed isn't limited. With you being on the side and trying to be quiet about it, I think you're still going to be even slower. Unless you're, yeah. So with you have to you think about like when you stealth, your speed is halved anyway because you're trying to be very careful where you're stepping, looking around, being very very aware of your things. Just because of the way that the tunnels are, you're gonna be even not like halved again. You might be 5 feet less. So instead of 15, you're gonna be like down to 10 for being quiet about it. I don't think you have any Zephyr any longer. I think you've used them all, if I recall, because that was part of why everybody wanted to do the long rest. Was everybody was out of everything. Your Zephyrs are gone because I remember counting down like the rounds for your Zephyr to finally be gone to see what would last longer, the Duragar or your Zephyr, and it just happened to be that the Duragar lasted longer. But um, the group starts walking away. Like the two Duragar look back like one more time. You can see that something has been left in the hallway between when two intersections meet. Something's been left. You don't know what yet. You're not close enough. Um, Syra, as General Zorban kind of leads you, but Zane stays like it. Zane, you, the general, because of the way that things just are. The Durg are so wide, like sometimes they're scraping against the walls here, and the generals haven't like duck down a little bit. Sometimes he stretches back up and then has to duck down a little bit. But even when he does so, like his hands are still very proper behind his back, and he just does one of these numbers.
Once we start walking away, like once we're like 10 feet away from where we left the pickaxes, and we like, hold on a second, I forgot the note. And I'm going to run back to the pickaxes while writing a note if I can bust through.
You you don't see a way to do this easily. Like, as soon as you say something about having to go back, like, Zane kind of just gives you this strange, like, for the first time, looks at you and gives you this strange look. And the general goes, "Not now, sister. We have prey. Come, this'll be fun. You'll enjoy this. Just a little bit further. Once the prey is taken care of, we can come back and leave your notes. Don't want you to be attacked, after all. Would hate for the champion to blame me."
All right.
Is what you said? Were you whispering, or were you saying that loud?
When I mentioned the note, I would
Yeah.
not have whispered, and then when I said all right, it probably would have been a whisper.
Okay. Ren, give me a perception check. So again, a voice you don't know did say something about leaving a note, but it's a voice that's unfamiliar to you. It's hard to say. You did hear again an undercommon, but that's all that you heard was, "I need to go back and leave a note," and then that was it. But the troop, after standing still for maybe 6-12 seconds, starts walking forward again. They are much faster than you are, Ren, as you're trying to be quiet even against the wall. You eventually come up to what they left, and there you see 3 pickaxes in fairly usable condition, meaning that the ends aren't nubs. They appear to be, while not the sharpest of tool, they are definitely usable. Give me an intelligence roll. Jiminy Christmas! 24? What the fuck? 23? What is this cheating bullshit? God damn, a 19? Fuck off. Looking at these pickaxes, knowing that you all were not arguing, but having a heated discussion about how to get access to these diamonds, Syra suddenly disappearing, and now these pickaxes are right here for the taking. Female Drell's voice is. You're not sure if your mind is playing tricks on you to where you were just attaching threads where potentially that was Syra, or if that really was Syra. You're at that point where your mind could be playing tricks on you. Stressful situation, but it's such a weird coincidence that these pickaxes are just right here. 3 of them ready to be used. You want to look for traps around the pickaxes? Yeah, give me an investigation roll. Nat 1, Nat 1, give me that Nat 1. Nat 1, baby. Nat 1, baby. Yeah! 7 total? Damn! They do not appear to be trapped. They do not appear to be trapped. The ground doesn't appear to be trapped. The ground's disturbed, obviously. You just watched a bunch of people walk over it. But you don't notice anything that if you were to pick these up, it would explode and cause a cave in, crushing you with the weight of a mountain. And yeah, you are sideways on a wall, kind of just looking down. Like, I don't, I don't know. What are you gonna try to do? Okay. So, if you carry the pickaxes, because of how unfortunately the side to side is, right? Your side to side is barely shoulder length. You're crawling like this. You're gonna have to be walking upright again. Now you could be hanging from the ceiling, versus crawling like this, but you just can't hold on to them and crawl and climb. It's just logistics of it. Granted, you have anti-gravity walkingness. Just the yeah. So you could definitely pick them up off the floor, kind of situate yourself to where you're walking on the ceiling. What do you do? Run away. Okay. Okay. As you just start booking it, getting one last glance around your shoulder, you can see now out of your eyes, all of the dwarves are looking your way. Still can't really see anything. Um, as you make your way out of that corner section, crossroads, and you turn around and look, Syra, you hear mad dash footsteps running the holy fuck away. And you hear, it appears that the quarry hurt you, sister, and has gone back to their hole.
I would apologize, but I have a feeling that you're going to track them down anyway.
Indeed, sister, indeed. As you said, set some traps, because it will be entertaining. But I believe that the mission is complete, but I do not see your friend to leave you with, so where shall I escort you to, sister? So that that creature we could not see does not ambush you without some protection.
Well, I would like to go back and leave a note, and then I need to make my way back to the main chamber, and then I will need to go on my own from there.
Well, it appears that we will have to go and snuff out the insects sooner. They have taken your pickaxes, sister. As he points directly behind you, and you being drow with super long dark vision can see that your pickaxes are gone.
Well, then I guess I'll just head to the main chamber and let you deal with the intruders as you please.
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage. You're still being shady as fudge right now. And they really don't they're really not on board after you're like quiet and then you're loud and then you're so dodgy. There's just no possible way we could do that, sister. We just we just nearly were ambushed by this creature we could not see in the dark. I cannot let any sort of harm come to you. Again, the champion would. I really like my head where it is. So, if we just need to get more pickaxes, we can do so, and then when I can leave you in the company of trustworthy people, we shall be on our way. Until then, sister, we follow.
Well, can you at least lead me to the nearest bathroom? Because I at least should do that before we move on.
Certainly, sister. We are actually headed towards the elevator, and if the slaves have repaired it sufficiently, we shall be able to go down the floor, where we have our chambers. But of course, you know this already.
Of course.
Okay, and so the general turning around leads you further south, and as you turn a bend, you can see light where there is um, kind of a combination of purple and green. It's kind of odd, but as you go into this chamber, first of all, you have seen nothing like this before. What you pictured as an elevator, you know, living in trees, wood elves and things, the forest that you're from, you have things too that are a basic contraption where a stone comes down, a small platform goes up. Like you're thinking, okay, they're dwarves, they probably have something similar. Well, they do, but they don't. Probably about 80 feet across as you open up into this chamber. First of all, this chamber is that strange black rock, smooth on all sides. And it's in a perfect rectangle. You don't see any divots or anything. In the top left and top right corners as you walk in are these giant, and by giant I would say probably about basketball sized, purple gems, orbs maybe, that are in the corners and they just pulse. And when they pulse, there's like a very visible like wave in the air of some sort of purple light. Um, on the ground, on the floors on either side of this long, again maybe 80 feet long room, are these small green crystal-like things, and they jet up. They're not, and they are they like split off like coral. They just all over in this weird, not more like a very green, like a it's kind of like a medium green. I can't think of a word. It's not turquoise. It's more green than turquoise. It's kind of like looking through a pool and you've got like algae in the bottom.
Sea green.
Yeah, it's like a sea green. You got that difference of color right there in between where you're like, you know, if it wasn't for the algae on the bottom, this would be really cool color. And these crystals, they kind of spiderweb across. Some of them jet out into points, and when the purple orbs like go. There's like an echo of that from these green ones, and that they suddenly get bright before going dim. They don't radiate any kind of weird pulse. They just get white and then go dim. You can see another two purple orbs in other corners. And as you step better into this room, you can see these orbs are actually on posts. They are on some sort of black, like indoor lantern style, light directional. They're like light bulbs. They're purple light bulbs facing a specific direction. Across the way, against the far side, there is this large brass contraption, and you can tell it's brass because there are torches on this, on which you can only guess from this distance to be maybe foot wide pillars, four corners of pillars, and weird knob like gear contraptions in the middle of this thing. And as you get closer to it, you can see it is a cube. There are four pillars that go up, and they are 15 feet between each pillar. So there's a pillar, 15 feet pillar, and it makes a cube. So it goes 15 feet pillar, 15 feet pillar. Above that pillar, or above there, you could see it just keeps going up. There's a hole, and these pillars just keep going. With your 120 feet of dark vision, you don't see an end. There's currently what looks like some kind of platform resting on almost level to the floor here. Excuse me. You can see on this platform, it kind of has a small divot in the center, and that divot is cut out in a circular pattern. So the platform is square, matching up to the corners of the pillar. So like a plus sign that only has the corners cut out. So if you picture a big square with the corners cut out for the pillars, in the center of that, which is probably about, you're guessing, 7 feet in diameter, is a small divot of a circle. And you see in here, in this room, there is 20 dwarves. Bright red-headed dwarves. Male and female. And you could just hear the ratcheting of things of... And then there's like different oils being sprayed. There's different people with these large tubular things trying to heave and bend, and you can just hear the constant, and you can see that from these pillars, you can see kind of past like a gated look. There are these pipes. You can only imagine pressurized steam is coming out of these things, as one of them is just in. As you get closer, because they're leading you towards this, you can see gears on each of these pillars and kind of a weird clamp contraption. The clamp contraption is currently locked onto these pillars. You can see where the clamps themselves seem to have some sort of grooves to them, and they match up within these pillars. But there's one section that's not matched up. It's off. And that's where you can see a lot of these dwarves are trying to adjust and move and bend to get this last piece to latch. And as one of them notices you all entering, they quickly are like hurrying. And you see one of them walk to just in front of this contraption, this elevator, this genius of ingenuity and engineering here. As this dwarf gets down on his knees and is saying something in dwarvish to the general. You get a few words with your rudimentary knowledge of dwarvish. You get mercy, time, and soon.
Do I see any other drow other than the two that I came in here with in this room?
Give me a perception check. Excuse me.
Nat 20 for 27.
What? You fucking jack mother trucker, nat 20. As you're looking around this room, you do see that in the there is one off to the far right-hand corner that is peeling some kind of fruit and just leaning back. But now coming from behind one of the pillars of this elevator, you do see another drow, a female drow. This woman is wearing a kind of a chitin armor from like Morrowind, right, where they had the armor made out of insectoids. So this particular one is wearing red chitin armor. You're not sure what insectoid that came from, but you can see in one hand is a long whip that at the end is split into about 6 different pointed barbs. And as she's rolling it up back into her hand, she looks over at you all. And General Zorban goes, Sister Tatiana, have the repairs been completed? And she looks around at you. She looks at you with kind of a puzzled face and goes, Not as of yet. These particular slaves are lazy. I've already had to kill 2. What do you do?
I'm going to point at the drow that's in the corner and be like, there's my friend. I'll be right back. Let me go talk to him.
Okay. Back to the group that's in the tunnel. It's been like 5 minutes since Ren has left. And Thynar goes, right, so the Vol, Kappa was the one to actually help me like make this mental connection, right? So maybe he can help you too, because it's kind of weird. We can kind of talk to each other in our minds, and if we're not careful, get like surface thoughts, right? Like the first time Kappa and I did this, all I felt was hungry. Just this hole of hunger and consuming of food. And Kappa says that the first time he made that connection with me, he suddenly wanted ale. And then he drank some, and it was great, right? That's how then beer cheese soup came about. There was this whole collaboration of mental connection. So you might want to talk to Kappa about that, because he's the one who initiated this whole weird thing. I'm not 100% about it. I don't like to share my thoughts, so I haven't been like exploring it. But in a pinch, it is very handy, I will say. And you're not saying anything, Naval. I see your lips moving, but you're very silent. Just wondering, have you lost your voice? Did somebody cast the silence spell? Not that I would know what that is, because I'm not a wizard. Although with Marigold here, did you get angry and like disturb the arcane around here?
I'm happy. I'm very happy to do the things that I'm doing. Still can't hear you, by the way.
No hablo the Vol. He's like, ah, fuck. Damn it. Fucking piece of shit. I get up to go pee, and this is what happens. Foundry says, fuck off. Right, so whenever Naval finally figures out, like, his whole voice thing, Marigold,
Uh-huh.
how come whenever you get, like, into battle, weird shit happens, like, around you?
Anything, nothing. No one hear
Hey!
me.
The Naval spell has been broken! He's no longer muted.
It works.
Yes.
Works.
Yes.
Yes. As I was saying, it's been a long day. I'm a bit tired, honestly. My jaw's gone a little slack. I think that's the problem. So I'm sorry about that, Dinar. All I was trying to say is that all of what you said is strange, but I'm interested. So maybe when we're in a better situation, we can figure that out.
I mean, you know, we're just sitting here, right? Like, waiting for the two people that can see really far in the dark come back. I got, like, nothing else to do, is basically what I'm saying. I can't mine any diamonds. We can't get the sapphire. We're just kind of taking a piss, if you know what I'm saying. Like, nothing's really happening.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
Naval, have a seat next to me.
Oh, okay. Give me a sec. I'm coming over. Oh, my side is all up in knots still. Oh, I hope we can rest sometime soon, so I can get this all fixed up.
Now, I don't remember what I was doing to feel connected to Thynar, but all I can say is, from what you know of me, just open your mind, think about Ubak, think about me. I will do the same, and just clear your thoughts of anything extra. Just, that's all I can ask.
I'll give it my best shot. I hope Ubak's not still too mad at me, but if it doesn't work, that might be why. But let's just give it a shot here. Let's give it a go. And yeah, Naval will he'll kind of sit down next to Kappa. Hold his he'll kind of use both of his hands to kind of just get a good grip on like the handle part of his hammer, and then he'll just start thinking, just flooding his mind with as many thoughts of Kappa as he possibly can.
Okay. While you're doing that, so you like you're always happy, Marigold? So the shit happens because you're happy? What?
Like, I come from a really big family. And I mean really big. I have 12 brothers and sisters, or at least there was 12 when it left. Yeah, I think. Anyway, so like my mom tried to teach me how to do stuff, and then one of my brothers tried to teach me how to do stuff, and then there was like two sisters that also tried to teach me how to do stuff, and sometimes I just can't remember which one I'm supposed to be doing, and they get mixed up. I'm sorry about that. Anyway,
12 brothers and sisters,
yeah, 12.
right? So do you have like your own mountain too?
Um, we had we have a town. We live in a town.
Live in a town. Alright, alright. I have no idea how many brothers and sisters I have. Family's like really big. I think sometimes we just say cousin because we're just not sure if it's a brother or a sister. We just go, it's a cousin.
I mean, we say that about the neighbors and the neighbors' neighbors. So yeah, I identify with your problem there.
Aye, so big family then. Right. Well, here's hoping like we can save mine. It's kind of why we're here.
I'll stick around and help you out if I can.
So when you do like your crazy stuff, do you like magically heal people or something with it, or is it just the weird exploding tiny? I think it was a fairy or something that would just went boom.
Well, one time there was a fairy. Sometimes there's vines. Sometimes there's light. I it gets mixed up. I can't really tell you what's coming when it's coming. It just sort of happens. I don't think I've ever healed anybody except for myself, but that's something different.
All right. Is there um, like a certain radius around you that when you get all weird that shit happens to? Like I should stay 20 feet away until you know what's gonna go, and then you can kind of is it something you can control?
Usually when I'm going in to,
Your happy place.
yes, thank you. You understand what I'm saying. Um, you're gonna want to stand about, yay, 30 feet, but it's not always 30 feet, but it's usually that's
Oh.
as far as it goes. Sometimes it's 5 feet, sometimes it's 30. 30 feet is usually pretty good, just that way or that way.
Right. Out of curiosity, can you use a shield?
No, I like this, and I hold it up with both hands.
Right. But could you?
No, I don't really need one because I have this. I have this, and I kind of pull my coat down a little bit, and you can kind of see some marks on the neck and a little bit on my chest.
You have a
Just-
tattoo.
Yeah, it goes from here about to yeah. I talked about I
Alright.
kind of heal myself sometimes. I have like the whole axe thing, axe hammer that went into the ceiling. I kind of get that because I have to like be nice to the tattoo and talk to it, and then I can heal some of the hurt that's happening.
All right. So you got like an Ubok item as you have a sentient tattoo.
I don't know who Obak is. My sister did this.
Your sister put a sentient tattoo on your body that you have to be nice to, so that sometimes it'll heal you.
Yes.
Right. Where is your sister at? Because I'd like to get a tattoo.
That's who I'm looking for.
Oh, we're looking for your sister. Right.
Yeah. I don't know where she is either.
Do you have any clues?
I know that she came this way. Well, this is the last place we had a letter from her, was in this area, and that was like a year ago.
From my clan.
No, just the general area.
Like the mountains as a whole?
I don't know what the nearest like big city would be here, so I would say from there.
Oh, from Brunchander. All right.
Yeah.
That's where we just came from. We used to have some really good contacts there, but we did kind of like murder their queen. Well, we didn't. Anyway, it's a weird story. Maybe we could get some help once we save my clan from another clan coming in to kill it because that clan thinks my clan invaded that clan. Really crazy. At this point, Naval, as you are focusing and with Kappa's guidance and help, you feel like you're onto something. Like just as your senses are about to expand, and you can almost feel like a tether of your consciousness kind of reach out. Rin, how the fuck do you run into this room? Because you were
Heard now?
yes, victorious for now.
Sweet. Okay. On the ceiling. How
So
tall are the ceilings in
when
this?
you come in, you're gonna have to make like this crazy up. The ceilings, once you actually get in here, they are 30 feet tall. There are some stalactites that are coming down, but they're very sporadic. You can very easily, once you get up, you're facing and then come up and over.
So would be on the ceiling, through the entry, hooking over to the wall to like curve back down onto the floor, keeping full speed that whole time.
Okay. Not being quiet. What is your? You are a 15. What is your? You're a 13. As you get to where the light itself finally starts to glow, Thynar kind of looks up and goes, "Well, one of them's back." And Naval, you just your connection is gone. You were almost there, but you at least have a starting, a base, and not a complete understanding, but if you could just make that connection, you can already kind of see some possibilities with that as far as tinkering is concerned. How to maybe take knowledge from others and use that somehow. Rin, you come charging down. What are you doing?
Attempting to talk, kind of out of breath, since I just booked it down this hallway. Uh, we got pickaxes. I'm pretty sure. Whew. We think we saw Syra. Kinda. Mostly heard. Female drow. But then pickaxe gift. So, odd coincidence, but, not good news. If it was Syra, she's with a lot of people. But I don't think they're coming our way. They didn't follow when we turned around to run away. But that still could be trouble. So, maybe no sleep, unfortunately.
So bad people.
I
just-
wouldn't assume that they were good. Don't know if they were bad, but
You can kind of see a couple of the hairs of Thynar's beard like twinge, and he goes, "Are you fucking kidding me? Now, after all these times of me telling her, hey, just pretend to be a fucking drow because you're a drow, right? Get some information. Now, when she's by herself, now's when she decides to be a fucking drow? By the hammer of Mordude, can this day get any better?"
they didn't follow us. back here, they seem to keep going away. So, at the very least, we have some time and knowledge that they exist. So, that's a plus.
So now we have to get Syra back from a large group of people who want to kill us.
Or
Oh no! Oh, 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 oh,
Cliffhanger!
Or what?
no!
And that's where we end the session today. No.
I feel like Anakin just comes out of getting his robot suit on and starts crushing everything around. No! He becomes the Darth Vader. Oh,
Wait.
oh, oh! Has the Ren returned? Return of the Ren. New movie I'm coming out with. Oh, that makes sense. Oh. The sound set just randomly started playing in my ear again. Cool, cool, cool.
can you hear me? Am I back?
Yes, yes,
Can
we
hear
can hear
you.
you.
Okay. Awesome. Sweet. I can't
We-
see myself yet, so I should
We can't
double check.
see you, we can hear you.
That's fine. You know what? At this point, just disable the camera. I don't know if that'll be better or not. I just put a picture in place of you. Hey, she's back. We see her.
The
Anyway,
last thing we heard was or.
oh, I don't hear her saying anything anymore. No. Wait, there's a fan. I hear the fan in the background again.
Can you
I think-
repeat what you said?
So the last thing we heard was "or" from you, and then you blinked out.
We were when we were talking about Syra, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, or we let Syra do the thing that Syra does for us normally as a group and be scouty and sneaky and trust that she'll make her way back to us. She did memorize the map.
You weren't gone for very long. Where were these pickaxes at?
So, do you remember when we were going down the hall towards this cavern,
Aye?
how there was another pathway?
Aye?
Down that pathway, several feet before it looked like there was another pathway. They were kind of right there. And we just assumed that it was probably Syra, and we were starting to be noticed, kind of. Weren't as quiet as we normally are, but still unseen. So we took advantage to take the tools and go back because there were quite a few companions that Syra had picked up. So I will say again, maybe we just let Syra do the thing that Syra does, and we do what we're going to do and find somewhere not here to be.
So I feel what Thynar is thinking. I know you've been traveling with us for a while, but basically nothing ever happens as it's supposed to. Ever. So, although your
I don't see an understatement.
Although your attitude is positive, we always have to plan for when the dragon poop explodes or whatever term, but we need a plan B, C, and hopefully up to an M.
Can we go back to the part about exploding dragon poop there for a minute? I'm kind of curious. Do you have this on hand?
It's a long story.
Wait, you mean this? And then Naval pulls out some dynamite.
Is that Plan C? That looks like Plan C.
Sure.
All right.
So,
Well,
yeah.
I agree with you, Kappa. Like, we need to have some contingencies. However, be that as it may, I'm leaning more towards what Rin is saying here. I have nothing left to offer but the might of Ubak's hammer against flesh. If somebody else goes down, that's it. I got nothing left to bring. If we get another the bolt of lightning up our arse, we're gonna be cooked.
I'm not saying we go now. I'm just saying that we need to consider the possibility of rescuing Syra and to know of that.
Does anybody know a way to, like, leave a message that only Syra can know? So here's my thought, right? Like, we're kinda. I mean, it's great we got the pickaxes, right? But with those pickaxes being so close, because again, Ren, you weren't gone for very long, right? You couldn't have been very far away from us. Either they passed by us or they were about to. And Syra took it upon themselves to redirect them, right? So if it was Syra we heard, or you heard, Ren, I don't think we should stay here. I think we should find another chamber or even go back to the one that we originally came from because we know where that is. And we know that if we leave something here that Syra could pick up on and just leave a note that says where we fell in, or, you know, the crack that leads to the mine, some sort of note, so they know where we are, but nobody else is gonna know. Like, Marigold, she fell down another crack, right? Like, there's probably multiple cracks in this old mine.
Didn't
That's
you,
my thinks.
didn't you say that she memorized the map?
She took a good gander at the map. Aye, she did.
So, like, do you have a map on hand and you could leave the map on the ground? Are you guys talking about going back to the map? You know, leave the map. She goes back to the map. Sign of the map. That's all I got.
I think what Thynar is trying to say is we have to
I mean,
leave
that's
something that only Syra can interpret. In case someone else finds it, they'll just see it as random whatever. But if Syra finds it,
ooh.
she knows what it means.
Ren has a great idea, leaving one of the stick of dynamites. Right? Syra would know where we got them. And Syra, with her dark vision, would probably know that those aren't around here, right? That's actually pretty good. That's a really good idea, actually. I'm impressed. Yeah, I really like that idea. Leave one of the dynamites and just like over here where it's not abnormal for a bit of dynamite to be left here with mines, but Syra would know it wasn't here before. I think that's what we do. Like, unfortunately, we snuff out the lights. Ren can be our scout, and those of you who can't see just kind of have to follow me with a. We'll do like a short bit of rope that you hold on to and just kind of take a step. We'll just do slow, like go back the way we came into that area. I don't want to stay here. Again, the fact that Rin was not gone for very long, they were right on top of us. We have a torch lit right now. We're just begging for something to come in here and kill us in our sleep. We have pickaxes. We can always come back here, but I got nothing. If we at least leave something for Rin to go back off of, or for that Rin's idea, excuse me, to go back off of Syra, I think it's genius. I think it's brilliant. I think that's our I think it's our play.
Who's gonna disarm the traps? Because I cannot see the traps.
Well, they're just tripwire, right? We just cut them.
Okay.
We won't be able to take them unless Rin, you think you can take them down to save them for later. But that might slow us down, right? It takes time to disable something like that. And if they were just here, we can. I'd feel safer. Let's just crack on. Let's just break them and go. I don't know that I want to take the risk, the time it takes to disarm them. Unless you think you can do it like lit a splitter in. Well, if you could point him out, but no, we got two people who can't see in the dark, so no, they're gonna hit him. We gotta break him or disable him. I mean, we could do that. Kappa can light his hand. I can get a shot.
Remember the part where I'm not very stealthy. I'm
Right,
just saying.
right. So
There's
let's
a
do
reason
this.
they chose the tattoo that heals me, because I fell out of a barn. But that's a story for another day.
I think Ren, go out there, look and see, make sure there's nobody around. If there's not, we will go and just bypass the trap. You can point it out for us with the light. We can get through. Once we're past the traps, light gets snuffed out, and we just go back to the room most of us originally came back in. We leave a stick of dynamite here for Syra. I think that's our goal. That's our plan. Right?
Let's go.
And that's where we will end tonight's episode of Rime of the Frostmaiden.